Welcome back, everyone. I think for the next few days I'm going to try to work on this hole in the roof. So I need to continue welding across the seams up top, see if I can start bringing some of these other pieces up into position, and then work on getting these little pie-shaped pieces filled in. So it'll be a process, as is everything on this bus, but we'll get there. Again, like we were doing last time, I'm just going to kind of put some tacks in various places, trying not to burn holes in the metal. And then I'll slowly work my way across. Do a little bit of welding here, move over, a little bit of welding there, move over, a little welding there, etc., etc. And same thing down here. Now this portion, this lower section is sitting a little bit low, so I'm going to go grab a magnet to pull it back up into place. And again, there's a little bit of a hole here to fill, but that's okay. Over here, we're nice and tight against the sheet metal, so I can work this side in and then start working across from pre-existing weld to fill in this space. So hopefully I can at least get this part done today, and I'd love to start getting some of these other pieces brought up into position. It's getting to that time where I either need to get some new tarps or I need to do something about closing this off. So let's see what we can do. Now we're getting a little further. So I've got most of this top center section welded on, at least up here along this upper seam. Down here in the lower one, I've got the magnet here just trying to pull this this center section up. Obviously, it tends to want to flatten out when you're like this, so I just want to make sure I get the right curve to it. So, working on the seam over there, just little by little. And over here, I started sticking this together as well, so I can start closing up this center hole here. I did take the cutoff wheel to this edge over here and cut it down. Yes, that's kind of in the way right now, but that'll allow me to fold it down and attach it properly along the edge. So getting closer. It's definitely a process, as always. But the next thing I need to do is take the cutoff wheel and, let's see if I can show you. Over here, so these parts are up underneath. Because of the angle that this is, angled down like that, I needed to cut a little bit extra off the back seam that I didn't do. So I'm just going to take the cutoff wheel and just kind of run it along here, starting right about there, using this as a guide, and just work my way across. And once I get there, that should take off the extra material and allow me to pull this right up against it and make a nice seam. So hopefully I won't have to deal with too many of these holes right here. Then as I get going on pulling this into position over here, at least part way over, then I can pull that bottom section up, cut it to the right shape, and get it started in the attachment point as well. Well, we're getting there. Most of the seam across the center section on top is done, and I'm working through the last pieces here on the lower side. Yes, I need to grind it down, and I'll have to do some touch-up, I'm sure, but that's okay. Over here, I started the process of attaching that second panel, so I've got everything cut and shaped. This one, as you can see, the panel is lower than the patch, so I'm going to have to push it up from the inside to make sure that it lines up and has the right curve on it. After we get that one in place, or at least partially in place, I'll start working on this one over here. There too, I need to trim that out right up there at the seam so I can pull that up into line, and then I can pull this bottom section up to match it. So the sections that are going to take a lot more work are going to be these outer edges, so that tighter curve out there, I'm going to have to work on that a little bit. That's where this section is going to attach, and there's one just like it on the other side. Then I'm going to have to add in a patch panel of my own creation to join up with, I think you can see it right down there is the corner of the last piece sort of standing up. So that's going to be stood up vertically so I can make up the 1 foot difference where the roof raise was. Then this front corner is going to be pushed back over to try to reapproximate a curve. So we'll see how it goes, but I know I'm going to have a lot of patching to do around the corners there. That's okay. Well, we're starting to run low on sunlight for today, but here's what we got so far. Got a big piece in over here, got some in down there. Here I've got this complete all the way across this center section. Down there, big piece in over there, and all of this in on this side. So I still have this hole to do, a little bit more over here. Then I need to do some shaping on that side to get that up and in line with the rest of the bus. Over here, I've got a couple of things I need to do with this. So this center section right here is sitting low, so I'm going to try to get down underneath and see if I can bend it up to create the curve of the roof. And then same thing down there, that's sitting a little bit low, so I'm going to push it out. I may need to put a 2x4 or something down there between the roof and the floor just see if I can get the right curve on it. And then obviously when I get out to that corner, I'll have to pull it down to start the curve around on the edges. Well, I guess we have a change of plans. So we had a rainstorm come in the middle of the night last night, so I had to run out here and cover everything up. And it's supposed to rain off and on throughout the day. So one disadvantage to working outdoors: if you're doing things up on the roof, not the greatest time to be out there when it's raining. So I guess I will see you over the next horizon and at the next project.